All right. Good evening, LinkedIn. Dave Wilson, the Ringer Hire Show, and we have Joanna in the house. How's it going, girl?
Hi, good. How you doing? Long time no see.
Long time no see. Every Sunday now, 7 or 7:30. We got to come up with that definite time. We were 7 or
Yes.
7:30, but we'll make it work. Hey, tonight's show, everybody, is really a great one. It's about gender. I'm going to say equality. I'm not going to say equity. I'll go like that. So we'll be right back after this, but it's going to be a great show. Never gets old. I'm ready to fight when I come from that.
Fires me up.
It does. It's like everybody I have on the show, everybody's like, man, that's like you're going to war. You're like back in the day. And I'm like, yeah, isn't it like you really want to fight?
We should have some armor on us while we're on that.
I know, right? I'd be real strong. Tonight's I wanted to say, hey, last week's show about the what do you call it? Narcissist.
Yeah.
Wow, that really went off really well.
I know. Such an interesting topic.
Yeah, and I heard one young lady say that this week. Call a guy his narcissist behavior. I was like, oh my God, the first time I finally heard it. I was like, damn. Oh, we got Sophia. Do you know Sophia?
I do. Hi, Sophia. Shout out to Sophia. Hi,
yeah,
love you too.
But yeah, that show really went over well, and we're going to definitely have to have part 2 on that. I really say. I learned a lot about it.
Yeah.
What did she say here? What know what that says?
That's Greek. It's my name day today. She's saying happy name day. Thank you, Sophia. We have to have her on the show.
Yeah, we'll bring her on. Bring everybody on. Hey, listen, tonight, gender equality, right?
Yes.
You know what I learned today? I love doing shows like, well, you've made me want to do shows like this now because you're coming up with these ideas. And it's like, that's not in my comfort zone as much because let's face it, I've been in staffing, recruiting, leadership, and then you throw this in front of me and even narcissists. I'm like, all right. But what I learned about this today about gender equality, it actually means as a fundamental human right, necessary foundation for peaceful, prosperous, and a sustainable world is a state of equal ease of access to resources, opportunities, regardless of gender, including economic participation, decision-making, and aspirations. And, you got that after that. But you learn a lot when you look into this. And I'll tell you what, I love being in the United States compared to some of the countries out there for gender equality.
Oh, yes. They're not even allowed to speak. They're not even allowed to have work. They're not allowed to go to school, get an education. They're limited. And yeah, we are very fortunate. But I wanted to look at more of the anatomy between a man and a woman because I think that needs to be sometimes taken into consideration. Although there are exceptions, there's sometimes, you do have women who are built a little differently than the average woman, because the average male height is 5'9", the average female is 5'4", and the build of from the skin to the bones to the muscles is completely different from a man and a woman. A man is broader, thicker skin, and that's why they feel different, and we're softer. So all that also plays a huge role, I think, with men and women. What's up, Mel Hodges?
Yeah, Mel's in the house, and then we even got there's Mike. Oh, my shirt.
I love the picture that Mike has up. That's a nice picture.
Doesn't he? And it actually kind of looks like him too when he's got that up there. It's pretty good. He's got tattoos on there, but your shirt matches your beard. I love it. Well, I did shave it a little bit, Mike, so it's not as white. I don't know when I'm going to shave it off this year. It's like, hey, but yeah, when it comes to that, it affects everyone: women, men, diverse people, children, families, and people of all backgrounds.
Right.
And what I like about it is one of the things that I learned also is about lack of women in leadership roles.
Yeah.
You take CEOs, you take all different kind of backgrounds, and it says 27% less than the male counterpart of that for being in leadership roles.
So 27% less women?
Yeah, less women. Yeah,
Less women are
yeah.
in a
Hmm.
job where they're a
Yep.
CEO or president. And
Yep.
why do you think that is?
I
Thank you, Mike.
You look epic tonight. I love it.
Thank you.
Um, you, you know, and I'm honest with everybody. The the top leaders that I've had in my career
Mhm.
have been women. My bosses,
Mm.
I've had the best bosses as females, and I always say, why is that? And I I, I always say women are more they're they follow up more than men. I don't know, they're more responsible sometimes. I know I say that doesn't sound right like that, but I've
Well,
had
no, that's what your experience has been, so you can say that. If you've had experience with both and your outcome was that the female boss was
yeah.
more perceptive, more, on task maybe, more considerate, more anything, like, then you can say that. I mean,
Do
that's
you think that has anything to do with
I think it has to do
when
with
we
the
say less women in leadership roles, or lack of? I like how they said that, lack of women, not, but do you think that has a lot to do with the families, with children, with the concept of that?
I think that you have to first say, well, they're saying lack of, but what kind of jobs? Because I think that's important to
Well, 36% less in government seats,
okay.
28% in management positions, and lack of diverse perspectives and decision making process hindering. All right, so let's just say government and management. You know, uh,
Which are not jobs where you're, like, digging or anything, where anybody could pretty much do, so it
right,
could be who you know, not what you know. Um,
right.
it could be, because sometimes you have what is that word called where you, nepotism, right? You have family coming in, working. I don't know what the actual reason maybe there is some kind of prejudiceness of, hiring women to do certain jobs. Maybe men want I don't know. I mean, I
Yeah,
was a school teacher and we were predominantly all females. My principal was a female, my assistant principal was a female. Our deans were females.
I've had the best. I always say on the top hand of my hand, top five. I've had top three women,
Mhm.
and I'm not afraid to say that. I don't know why I would be, because it just, I don't know. And like I said to you, there is, I always wonder, does it have a lot to do with families? Does it have to lot with with children, schooling, and family? The men, the dominant male, he's out there. He's the boss. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where I'm going with all that, but I just feel that that might have something to do with it. It has nothing to do with. I don't think. I think everybody's capable of anything, of any type of job.
Yeah, it can't be with
Yeah,
intelligence. I don't think it has
yeah,
anything
you're born with
with
leadership. You're born with those different kind of skills that I don't have.
why don't we go back to how women, right? We have the children, we get
Correct.
pregnant, and there's more of a chance there's more women staying home raising the child because they're making less
Right.
money than their spouse. In,
Right.
in some cases, that's not true because I know somebody who the woman makes more money and the husband stays home, but it's rare. It's mostly the
Right.
women that are home. He's the only male when we're out. If the moms are all out, he's the only one there, so it's not as common. But I think it can have something to do with that. Are they applying? Is there a lot of women out there applying for these positions?
Right.
I mean,
That's
there's
what I
something
mean.
to take
I
into
don't.
consideration.
I would say things are way better now than they were years ago. Years. I mean, let's figure it. With everything going on, you really, I don't. I think the pay, like for example, they always talk about the salary difference between male and female. In the workplace.
Yeah.
I don't, or any kind of gender. That, I mean, backgrounds. It. I don't know if it exists as much in middle management roles or middle entry level, all that type versus high CO. Really upper. There of more females are in that kind of work. But it
Right.
says here, it says 60 61% of prime working age women participate in the labor force compared to 91% of prime working age men. And you just said that.
Yeah.
You just were saying that about that because of family. And I think that brings it
And
down
that's
to it.
probably why that the numbers are so low. Mel says, I think the Sun should focus on what the ratio was 15 years has against today, than 10 years and 6 years. What would that graph show?
Exactly.
Pull it up for us, Mel. What would it look like?
Yeah, right. No, but he's right. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. We compared to other countries, wow, we really are way ahead.
Well, in some
Then
countries, they won't even hire women who are older and 40 and up because they think they're too old. They want young people working. And I know that for a fact. It happened to a friend of mine's, her mom. She couldn't get a job because for that purpose that she was having in Europe where she lived in. And that's unfortunate. So we're lucky, yes, and we could all do the same job that men do here. But again, what you said before about the statistics, I think it's a lot to do with we stay home watching the family.
yeah,
It's more men out there because they're the role of the men being the provider.
yeah, and we've talked about it before, and this is what I like this part here. What I really like, it says an imbalance in unpaid care work. Now, when you hear that,
Mhm.
you think about it. But when I was reading about it, it was saying how the gap between time spent by women and men on unpaid care is really high because women what's taking care of the children and staying home and raising a family are not getting paid. And
Right.
it's unpaid. So I kind of like that unpaid care work.
Well, it's true if you think about it. Let's see what Mike says. I feel that if a lady can do any kind of job correctly, then let her do it. Yeah, agreed. Men are
Yeah,
insecure and jealous when a lady does same kind of work. Yep,
yeah,
true.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree on that. That's good fun,
yeah,
that part. But I
yeah.
like that unpaid care work. Can you
So it's
imagine if you got paid? Whoever was, let's face it. Now there is a lot of young single men that are single families. They're
mhm,
taking care of the kids. It's not just women, but the
right.
majority, I would say, probably is. But there are men that are taking care of the children. But that's unpaid care work. I like that.
It is because if you think about it, if we have to go to work because you can't afford to be home, not
Right.
everybody has that opportunity. You have to pay someone to care for your kid. But why don't someone pay me to stay home and take care of my kid? Right? I don't. Right? What? Maybe
Whew.
they pay.
Look at
My
other countries. Like I think over in Germany, they get like oh my god,
three
it's like
years. They get 3 years and they
yeah,
get benefits. In
to
other
take care of
countries,
the
it's a
kids.
year.
Mhm.
Yeah. So why is that happening there and we can't do that here?
Yeah, wow, I can imagine just paying everybody, but I love that.
Mhm.
Inadequate. I'm sorry. Geez, I was just reading it over here
Unpaid.
about it. It's just unpaid care work. Can you
Mhm.
imagine what your paycheck would look like if you got paid for that?
Oh,
All the
it's
hours?
if I got paid to be a chauffeur, a cook, a cleaning lady, daycare, you name it, if I got paid for all that,
What
that would be great.
do
I
you think an hourly rate would be for that?
well, I do
We-
know that nannies, I think they make I don't know if this is accurate, if it's $50 an hour, I think in New York or something like that, and they're there, what, from, let's say, the morning. We should be looking at the progress over that period and not just make blanket statements. Alright, look at the progress, Mel.
You can tell Mel, right? You know Mel. That's true. There is progress. I like that word, progress.
Mhm.
I mean, compared to years, because when you really look at all this stuff that I'm going to go over here
Well,
even
did
with
we
you,
make progress? Because now everybody takes their children to daycare,
yeah, yeah,
right?
I would say we do.
And the children are being the parents can't afford to not go to work because they need the benefits, the health benefits, let's say the
Right.
pay. But a lot of parents their pay pretty much covers what the cost of daycare is, and then all the reason why they're going to work is just for the benefits.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. I
That
agree.
that's
I
very
agree.
common, and then I think that a lot, the parents don't have an opportunity to be home with their children. They have what, 6 to 8 weeks they have off for work.
Yeah. I
The
think,
child's
I
only
think
8.
it's well, if it's a C-section, I think it's 12 weeks. I think you get an
Okay,
extra
but the
4 weeks
baby's
or
an
something.
infant. You're giving the
I know.
baby up to 7 hours, 8 hours,
Yeah.
and it's still an infant. It should be with the mother. So that's something that's like a whole other topic where the government should provide some kind of, year for the mom to be with the kid, a year, 2 years.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
this next young lady that I'm going to put up here happens to be my daughter. So
Oh,
look at this. Natasha Snyder Wilson with 5 grandkids.
with the
Totally agree. You should just
daycare.
work just to pay for daycare, and that's it. So
Yeah.
I got my brother on here tonight, and I got my daughter. So
Nice.
I can imagine everything that she needs to be paid for. She's like, hi, right? So that's the first time she's on the show. So now that I know she gets it on here, but you are right, Miss Natasha. You are right. You do work to pay for daycare.
Yeah.
Some of the daycares, what I think average now, like an average child, like an infant's almost like $250 to $300 for the week
Yeah,
at some
1,000,
places.
1,500 a month, 2,000 a month. It's ridiculous. It's a mortgage.
That's freaking insane. That's
Yeah.
insane what they charge. But you know what? They got to make money too because if we're going to go off topic, right?
I know.
Everybody
I know.
everybody wants, everybody wants
It's just like,
more money. She says Noelle is 1,500 a month.
oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
that's
see?
that's what I'm saying. And where do you make 1,500 to take care of that? But I understand that they have to pay their bills. But some of it, I still think we spend so much money elsewhere that's where some of the money needs to come
Mhm.
into childcare,
Right.
and really not just what kindergarten. It's kindergarten, right?
Kindergarten is,
Pre-K.
yeah.
But
Well,
I believe that a lot more should be covered within that time frame.
they should
You
have
know.
a childcare leave for parents.
Yep.
We should have it here.
This one here, I think this is from other different countries or something because it says inadequate access to education and healthcare. It says an estimated 110 million girls and young women may remain out of school by 2030. Stalled progress in reducing maternal mortality and expanding educational opportunities call for targeted interventions. I don't know. I don't know what that meant by that. I was reading it over a couple times, and it says that they may remain out of school. Stalled progress in reducing maternal mortality. I don't know.
I
I
don't know
don't get that part for education and healthcare. I think everybody has access
yeah.
to it. Inadequate, yes, because you figure that people that don't have insurance, what the heck do? You just don't have it. You don't have the insurance. Let's see. This next one. Let's see.
Mhm.
Oh Jesus, man! There's some of the stuff that I looked up here. Let's see if I get here. Child, young marriages. I don't understand what's that have to do with uh, someone being younger marriages. I don't understand what that means.
I don't
For
know.
why that would cause problems or anything like that.
I just
In-
think as a bigger picture with men and women, I think there are jobs out there that I don't want to knock any women. Like there's jobs women just will not do. Not
that's not
only
going to do.
can't do or won't do. Are there exceptions to that? Yes, there are women out there that would, but most women would not do the jobs that men do, the dirty jobs they do, wastewater plant treatments, tunneling, building bridges, being out on highways. I mean, it's
Where
predominantly
they're going.
men doing that. Being
Let's see.
outside, lifting heavy things, they're dangerous. I mean, you don't see women applying for these kind of jobs.
Not for nose
I'm not
tubs.
saying they never do. I'm sure there's an exception. There might be one, but when was the last time I haven't seen any.
No, I wouldn't say. I
Right.
wouldn't even say it. I'm trying to think here. It says violence against women and girls. That's just something there. Each year, 245 million women and girls experience physical, sexual violence, and intimate partner. Older women also face higher rates of poverty. There's just so many different things. And I guess what I'm trying to say here is when you look through all this stuff, like, would I have thought of anything like this? Would I have ever thought of, experience physical, sexual violence? No. Would older women face higher rates of poverty? I don't even know what that means.
Now, for
Um,
gender equality, though, I mean, I think as a whole, we all have the same opportunities. We all have an opportunity. We all have the same to go to any school we want to go to. We could apply for the same amount of jobs that the men could apply to. Nowhere does it say that we can't. So gender equality exists, but some people say it doesn't exist because, like you said, with the statistics and the numbers, that there are more men.
right.
But we don't. No one stops to say why. And we did say it back with the families, but Is it really because they're pushing women out? No, they all have the same. There shouldn't even be an issue, which we're having today. A big issue with having. I mean, I hate to get into this, but now we're having all this stuff where men who are very masculine, the way they're built, trying to get into sports, female sports.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, that's all over the news all the
that's
time.
all over, and that's a really big hot topic. And I think that really needs to be evaluated, because if you look here, just in general, with the physique of a male, if I to their male is in general are denser, they're stronger bones. The female skulls and head bones differ in size, shape from the male skull. They're bigger and broader and stronger. They're just built that way naturally. So you
Right.
can't, even when a wrestling team, when there's a male and a male, what do they do in wrestling? They put people with the same weight. They put two males that are at the same weight. So why in wrestling, and this is two males. So why would you put somebody who's 6'3", 6'4", 200 and whatever pounds, muscular, with
Right.
young, 5'3", 5'4", 5'5" girls? I mean, that's not fair.
I don't I listen to it. I get irritated with it sometimes because it's just, to me, it's just like common sense.
Right.
It's common sense, but I don't understand when it's going to stop. I really don't. I mean,
Right.
I get so mad about it that,
If I
um,
was in sports, I would back out. I would quit. If that happened, if I had to compete with someone that I knew it wasn't a competition,
right.
I wouldn't even bother. And I think the women need to stand up. The girls need to stand up for themselves, and they need to say no. And then there won't be no one that they could race against.
Well, that's what they were talking about here is too within the Olympics, the same thing, because the
Yeah.
Olympics for a long time was always male, 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 and now they have more female sports
Oh yeah.
within the Olympics. There's a lot, and that's come a long way also. So that was another gap there that they had to do, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about that part. I really don't.
I mean, like you said, it's simple, it's logical. It's not equal. You're not
Yeah.
equal to this person, because look how you look and look how they look. So
Right.
they couldn't win on a male team, so they came to a female team to win.
I know. I'm laughing at that, but that's the truth. Here it says women are also the minority in the news media.
In
And
the news media?
yeah, it was saying the status of the women in the U.S. media reported that women comprise 41% of the overall news media workforce, and they're not being compensated appropriately. And this was just things that I
That's
was
always
just
been an issue, though, women feeling that they're doing the same job as a man. I mean, I
right.
remember that when I was a kid, that was an issue, that they're not getting the same pay as someone they have the same years, same experience, doing the same exact job, and the male is making more money.
Yep. In those type of fields, I can imagine, but I just don't know. I, these stats here, when you look at it,
Mhm.
there's a lot. There's a lot about women being the minority, and they're saying they're the minority in the tech sector too, like in work. That means the tech jobs. There are only 25% women that work in the tech sector versus men, and I'm like, okay, that's the tech sector. What is that?
Is that
Why?
just huh?
I
Office
don't know
job?
why. I don't know why. It just says there's minority in the tech sector.
Mhm.
There, as of 2022, the percentage of women in tech jobs sits firmly at 25%. So compared to
So
11.7% in 2019.
well, I think in general in everything, even from sports to the work field, and it was always predominantly men, right? And now we do have some female stuff, female sports, and yes, they play soccer, they do all that stuff. Is there any? I'm going to ask a stupid question. Is there any football players that are? There's no female football.
No, no, I don't think only. No, not yet. Not yet. No,
Not yet, right?
no, not yet. We're gonna laugh about it, but give it another couple years, and I have a feeling I don't even know what to say on that one, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It'll happen. Here it also
Listen,
says,
we're just more fragile, and that's okay. We're more fragile, and it's okay. We have babies, our bodies are more fragile. And you know what? We need to take care of ourselves, because we're going to be carrying a baby, feeding a baby, nurturing a baby. So it's different, and it just needs to be respected. That's it. I think women that are angry and bitter, or with this whole, I think they just don't feel respected, and they get angry, and they've created them to be this way. Because if men just respected the woman's role and the woman respects the man role, I think, everything would be great. But there are men out there that don't. They think that they belittle them, or they don't respect it. They don't think they're as important, but they don't
Right.
realize that, think about life without us. We are very, it's important. We're both very important, male and female. We need both. So it should be no matter what you're doing, it should be just utterly respected, whether you're out with a career, whether you're home raising your children to be
All right.
amazing,
I'm listening. I'm listening.
to be amazing citizens. I mean, right? I mean,
No, I get it. I just don't know what to say about it. Here it says we talked about that when women enter male-dominated industries, the pay decreases as women makes the crossover into workspaces by men. There are lower salaries,
mhm.
and the men have more benefits. And again, I'm sure this happens. I'm
Well,
sure it does.
I remember reading that it happens because they feel that the man is the provider, so the man has to make more money because he has to provide for the
But
family.
that was back in the day. You might as well say that was way back.
I know, but I feel like they still have that mentality. You don't think so?
Um, I I don't
I
know.
don't
I
know. I mean, I
I
see.
think I just know a lot of women in male dominated industries. I know of. I think it's getting way better now than it was back in our day.
Right.
It's just come a long way. And here it even says female entrepreneurs receive less funding and investments.
Oh.
For startups, for getting startups, sexism, gender inequality,
Well,
complicate
that's why
starting
there's
one's
all these
business.
there's a lot of programs, even here where we live, there's programs where a lot of companies have to hire female entrepreneurs. They have to have a certain amount of female entrepreneurs, even in like Bethlehem, and I remember was it where the casinos are. They had to hire
Right,
a certain amount of women, or if a woman comes in and she's an entrepreneur and she has a service to offer to a company, the companies have to hire a certain percentage of females. So that's how they're helping, and they have to have it on record in their books, so they get audited that they have a certain percentage of females that they do business with, not just men. So
right.
even if a man doesn't want to do business with a female, he kind of has to keep his business.
Keep his. Oh God, Mike put caps. All right, there's a lot of sad issues going on. Everyone says Americans are being divided, but I say the opposite because it's bringing us together in unity, which is needed to get through the dark to see the light. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, we see. I feel like they're dividing us through mainstream media, but he's right, because I think we're all getting so angry, a lot of us, and it's making us. Maybe we should stick together and be stronger and unite and fight against. Because I mean, I see it on mainstream media a lot. The separation, the fighting,
Right.
the protesting that's going on. That leads into so many fights, and I think that he's right. I think there's like 1% of that going on. I think they're taking a video, they're blowing it up, because I'm out and I'm about and I don't see anything. I don't know about you, where I'm
Right.
out a lot, and well, I go into the city and I don't see that stuff that's shown on TV. And I think they promote it.
Just bring it. This
Yeah.
one you're gonna love. You're gonna love this one. You're
Oh,
gonna agree. You're gonna smile. Women still shoulder more of the household burden.
women, what? Say that again?
Women still shoulder more of the household burden.
Of course.
Of course, yeah. It's
Well,
more.
we can multitask better.
Well, it says despite the fact that women are more educated and more employed than ever before, they're still tasked with the majority of household duties. 54% of women take maternity leave, while just 42% of men take time away from their jobs. Okay,
Okay.
that that
Well,
makes
do they
sense.
even have maternity leave for males? Some
Yes, they do now.
they do now.
No, they do now. Yeah, they do now. Ah, you're smart. You caught that.
I guess.
um, no, you're right. Yeah, they do have. There's some companies that even offer that now as a benefit when your wife has a baby that you can take off also the father.
Yes,
Hmm.
some
You
companies
know,
do offer it, private
yeah,
companies offer it, but, not do government jobs offer it? I know some private companies offer it. I don't
yeah.
know.
I don't think it is as much,
Right.
but I still love that idea
Mhm,
because I would have loved to when I had my dear daughter on here. I
mhm.
got stuck at work and they stuck me on 12 hours. I couldn't even bring her home from the hospital.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah, it was you just I don't know. They didn't. when you had a baby for the guy, it was just like, who cares?
Right, it didn't matter because it only mattered for the mom.
It's only
Right,
matter for the mom. It's like, hey, do you mind if I go to the hospital? My kid's being born. No, you got to finish out your work.
right.
Jesus.
Me
Nowadays, I don't think you can even
yeah.
get away with that. Oh
Oh,
my
today
God.
when the man says, "Oh, my kid's having a baby," go, 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 like,
Go,
it's like a
go.
yeah,
And I believe in that because I think overall when it does that for a guy that can take a leave of absence, I just think it's going to benefit the baby. First of
yeah,
all, the child. I think the child's going to be. I don't know. I just think being both parents for a couple of weeks, maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know, but I
yeah.
still think it does. I think it does. Um,
I think both parents should have off, you're saying? Or
yeah, I would say why not? But
yeah,
it comes down to, let's face it, the companies of what they're going to pay. Now, I think that would be a great perk
yeah,
for a company that offers for male. I guess if you're older, a lot of people will say, well, it's not fair. I don't have, I
yeah.
can't have babies. No, dude, you know what? This is the younger generation. It should have been this way. Oh my God, this one you're going to be like, what the heck?
Uh-oh.
Women are more likely to be injured in car crashes.
Oh,
It does. It says, and the
I wouldn't
reason
be
why
surprised
is
if
depressing and
everybody's saying
infuriating. What's that?
I wouldn't be surprised now if a bunch of people watching this are saying, "This is why we say women can't drive."
This is the New
You
York
have it
Times. This is
this
from the New York Times. It's
must
a New York Times article found that women are 47% more likely to be injured in car crashes because the safety features were, you guessed it, designed for men. Ah,
really?
see? Let me read that again right
Oh,
there. So, the crashes, the safety features, you guessed it, designed for men in 2021, a new study by the Insurance Institute for Highway found that women are still much more likely to be injured despite men driving, exhibiting more reckless behavior behind the wheel. So, women 37 to 73% are more likely to get seriously injured. I didn't even think of that.
so then why are boys, when they start to drive, their insurance is a lot higher than the female?
This one just got my mind here.
I
Dina,
think
let's
men
see.
should get paid leave after having a child. Oh, Dina, that's my sister.
Gee, we got the whole family on here
Hi,
tonight.
Dina. Yeah, 100 yeah, they should have child leave. Yes,
They do.
of
But
course.
for the car crashes, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But that's from the New York Times. So
So,
hey,
that's interesting because considering that men have that testosterone where they love the speed, excuse me, they have the speed, the desire to speed, that rush, especially the young kids learning driving. And I'm surprised that it's more females that are in
yeah.
accidents than
I never
men.
heard of that. I never heard of that because I guess you have to ask the car dealership when you go there. Is
That's
this
interesting.
designed more for women or men? But you think about it, like you said, men is men, women's. Look at the different features.
Mhm.
So is that still good when they put those test dummies in there? They say, hey, let's put a female here or a male one in there. I
I
don't
know,
know.
what is it? What is who knows what's in that?
I thought you get a kick out of that one. Don't agree with Dina. Let's consider business issues.
Oh, be
No,
nice, Val, that's my sister.
that's right. All right, here's another good one. Oh, gee. Well, this one is true. This one will get you to heart, though. Women are far more likely to be the victims of human trafficking.
Oh, of
Yeah,
course.
and that makes
Of
total sense
course.
because
The
overseas and all that
dominance,
you hear about
but
girls
also
between 14 and 17.
a male is not gonna be able to fight another male, right? Usually
No.
they're gonna go for a woman, and it's easier to attack a woman.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I mean,
yeah.
that's the United Nations, and that's
Mhm,
makes total sense. Girls ages between 14 and 17 are
mhm,
targeted because pattern of gender sexual bias violence that also targets teen girls. And
mhm.
I agree
Yeah.
because you don't hear about boys, but I'm sure it happens. I
I
mean,
mean,
I
yeah, it
think
happens to them too, but
I'm
it
sure it
with
does.
boys, but, yeah, it's mostly men going after women.
Uh, you already read that one,
Yeah.
Mel. Oh, geez. Women, well, this stuff here is true. Women do most of the caregiving. So, caregivers who often go unpaid, we talked about that, helped our loved ones on their day to day lives. As it turns out, that's a
Mhm.
stressful job and should be often be held by women. 75% of all caregivers are female and may spend as much as 50% or more time caring than males. Well,
So think about this, right? Because you're home with your kid, right? You
mhm.
decided to be the one who stays home because you're making less income. So he goes home and you're staying home raising the kid. You don't only just raise the kid because you're home, you end up doing a lot more.
Yeah.
So you end up taking care of pretty much everybody, not just the child when you're staying home. So
God.
that's yeah.
Can you imagine
It's
me doing this show by myself? I wouldn't even know how to talk about this. I'd be like, not having you on this show here. I'd be like, but no, a lot of this stuff makes sense. Oh, this one you're really gonna love. Okay.
let's see.
Women are this is all I love this stuff. Women are stuck with more household chores than men. Well, go
Yeah,
figure that one. I think that's anywhere, right? As much as we would like to think we have made strides in equality, women are still stuck in the stereotypical role of domestic housewife. And that was a journal that's published in the journal Work, Employment, and Society.
it's
Found
innate.
that women spend
It's innate.
16 hours every week doing household chores, where men do around 6.
You know, again, I think it's in us. It's almost like, but here's the thing. There are some men who do household chores and
Yeah.
they do contribute and they do help. But I think that I said something about it's like an innate thing for women. I don't know why it's like a natural thing that we just do better. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it says there it's the stereo. I like that wording.
It's stereotype.
Stereotypical.
Mhm, yeah.
That is.
Well, what is a stereotype comes from somewhere, not in
Yep.
our
Uh,
house when kids
Kids,
kids
all
mom.
4. Yeah. Well, that was definitely you have
Listen,
to,
if
right?
I had 4 boys, yeah, my mom had 4 girls. We had
Oh
all
my
4
god.
girls,
Oh
so
my god. This one here. All right. So that one I'll put in your bucket there.
Mm.
Um, Retired women are twice as likely as retired men to live in poverty. What the hell? As women make less money but live longer, I didn't know that. A clear issue presents itself. The longer a woman is on earth, the more money she needs to have in older to survive. Around 3 out of 7 women who want to retire by age 67 will seriously struggle with savings. That,
because they spend more.
yeah, because they spend more.
Well, we like to buy makeup and we like to buy anti-aging products and creams for the body and the
Well, we're getting to that part. Yeah, I got a couple
men,
more. There you are.
generally don't care about that, and that stuff is expensive. The cosmetic industry, the anti-aging industry is predominantly for women, so it's like
Eh,
my word of the day today.
I just don't. I never heard of these things. Listen, I mean, I just go on Google and I type in, and I spent a good 3 hours today, probably just looking, trying to find stuff that is it true or not true or this one here. Well, women spend more on health insurance and health care.
Yeah, the health,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, because women have children and live longer. Again, they're considered higher risk from health insurance perspective, meaning they've charged more despite Department of Health and Q. Let me see.
Men wouldn't
Um,
even go to the doctor for a doctor visit if their wife didn't push them to go. Most men go because their wife tells them to go. You need to go get a physical. You need to go get blood work done. You need to go get checked. Most men don't go. They need to
uh,
get pushed to go. It's just
yeah,
something the way men are and women, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. That is so true.
that was a book, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And
That
they made
was a
a
book.
game out of it too. There's a
Maybe
game.
we should do a show on that.
Yeah.
I remember that one. But
Yeah.
no, I guess these are just statistics, and
Mhm.
yet female pain and medical issues are not taken as seriously as they are for men. See, you read this over and over, yet female pain and medical issues are not taken as seriously as they are for men. What the hell?
Really? So maybe because we complain so much and men they don't, but when they do, watch out, it's real. Maybe because we're constantly on top of ourselves with this, that, yeah,
I,
I mean, and
I,
men aren't. They're quiet.
they're quiet.
They're
All right,
quiet.
let's see. I
Take
love
the
these things.
pain.
All right, number 29.
Uh-oh.
Now, this is true, though. I've heard this, though.
Uh-huh.
Women in Hollywood aren't given the same opportunity as men in industry. Behind the scenes, women working make
They
up
have to
only a
work a
small
lot
portion. That
harder.
I've heard a lot.
Mhm.
That women
Why do
Hollywood
you
and
think
actors.
that is in Hollywood? I don't know why.
I don't know, but they said the men make more, and that's gonna be due. What's this?
Mhm.
You'll never need Agent Cream, but Dave will.
Thank you.
Oh, geez, yeah. See, that's
Mhm.
nice. See, Agent Cream, but no, I mean, I've heard about that. That always says that behind the scenes, women in Hollywood aren't given the same opportunities.
Mhm.
I'll give it. I'll give that. So I'll take that one. Let's see.
Maybe because when they're doing an action film, I don't know, what is the
Well, it says here because men's stories are being told more than women's in film. What the heck?
I don't
So
know.
it's still about that, about Hollywood. Women
Yeah,
aren't paid anywhere near as much as Hollywood either. I don't know. I never got into that one.
yeah.
Um, I agree with Dave. My wife says that all the time. Good, good. But no, I mean, they're just some of the things that you look up, and I don't know. Here, let's see. This one's I don't know. Well, women being forbidden to drive in Saudi Arabia, that just came out of nowhere. I swear to
Oh,
God, out of all these papers, right?
uh-huh.
This comes out. Women being all right. So what? Why
They
was that put in there?
aren't they also, like, I don't know, I don't wanna sound aren't they also
Well,
not
they're
allowed
not
to
allowed to drive.
drive? They're not allowed to go to school or
Yeah, they're not. It says girls being less likely to part in organized sports,
yeah.
girls being less likely to do advanced math subjects in their final years of school, and examples of gender inequity is infant life expectancy in India and China, the two most populous nations in the world. There's significant data that shows a survival disadvantage for girls under 5 years of age, and that's you hear
Oh.
about that in India and China all the time.
Well, also, don't they also give away their children, their young 10, 11, 12-year-olds to older 50, 60-year-old men? They make them their bride,
Oh,
and that
Jesus.
happens, and those and I don't know if
Thank God for the USA, right? Jeez, thank
yeah,
God for the USA. So, but no, I mean that was a good show. I mean,
yeah.
there's just so many different things and so many different variables, but anybody can look all this stuff up. I mean, I must have destroyed 10 trees. Look at them, 10 trees here, and I swear I'm going to
The
start making them.
environmentalists are gonna come after you.
What's that?
The environmentalists are gonna come after you.
Yeah, and they were just some of the things that are very interesting, and you can learn a lot.
Yeah,
Of this issue. I just say, fortunately, we're living in the USA, and I
yeah.
don't know, we have a lot.
And we have a lot of opportunity. We have equal opportunity. Now, granted, whether or not we're getting paid the same or if we're being hired with those positions that men are going for, if women are going for those same positions,
Right,
I don't know why the statistics are lower for women working in those areas. Like I said, family is the only thing I can think of, or depending on what the job is. There's so many variables. It could be who you know, family. There's so many variables why, but again, I think that women should be proud and embrace that you have the opportunity to be home with your child. There
right.
is and raise your child and not a stranger. To me, and I know there's some people that don't have the opportunity and they can't. But why have children if you're just gonna bring them to daycare at 6 to 8 weeks old or 12 weeks old?
Right.
7 hours a day for almost half their life. What are you having kids for if you're not the one raising them? I
It
feel like if I'm gonna have a kid, I'm raising my kid. No one
right.
else is raising my kid. I will sacrifice everything I need to sacrifice to raise my kid. I will move into a box if I have to and live poor to raise my kid.
No, that's true though.
That's just
That's
my opinion, and I will sacrifice it until my kid is ready to go to school and they're old enough to go to school. And I
right.
let them go because I'm gonna put my kids somewhere where they can't talk, where they can't speak out into strangers' arms. What
Right.
I carried this baby for 9 months, but now I'm giving it to a stranger's arms all day, every day, 5 days a week, sometimes six if they work on Saturdays.
Right.
I mean, I can't.
Okay, so Trey, do you feel that women still want a man to be traditional man or want them to be more in touch with their feminine side? Oh Jesus.
Uh,
Here we go. Now you're gonna Mel, you're gonna get her going.
traditional man.
Mel, you're here we go. Here we go.
A traditional man is a man who would go out and work, right, and bring
Right.
and want the woman to be with the children, and they respect the role of the wife, the mother being
Right.
home. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong. I think that's the way it should be. And let's say the wife has the okay, let's say the woman who has the baby, obviously, and the man makes less than the wife, then the husband can stay home with the child, sacrifice it, and let
Right.
her go to work. I'm not saying that the man just has to go to work. Whoever's making the higher income can stay home. She could just either milk, leave her milk home, or they could use formula.
No, you got her going, so we can just sit here and listen now. We got here she goes. You got her going on that part. Mike says amen, and
There's
Virginia,
absolutely keep up the good work.
Virginia, you guys are amazing.
Thank
Keep
you,
up the good
Virginia.
work. I
There's
love
absolutely nothing wrong with it, and women shouldn't be ashamed of it. It's a job. It's a big so let me tell you, the women out there that are
it. There
listening.
she goes.
So is it a job when a cleaning lady comes to your house? You have to pay her. It's a job when she does it, but it's also a job when you do it. When someone's cooking for you, a chef, it's a job when they do it. It's a job when you do it as well. When someone's raising your kid at a daycare center, you're paying them because it's a job. You're
Right.
just not getting paid for it, but guess what? At the end, you're going to grow this beautiful, amazing child, right? You're molding the mind of a young, I mean it in terms of masculinity. Well, yes. What do you mean? The man, Mel, I think that the man, this is my opinion, that the man, yeah, should play that role and going
All right.
and
Amen. I like how Mike said that. Amen. No, I want to thank you for putting me on doing a show about women. I got to tell you, I've never did that before. So I was out of my halfway through the
out of
show.
his
It's like,
comfort zone. I took
well,
him
I
as
know halfway through this show, I'm
okay.
skimming through all these pages. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to say? What am I
At
going to
least you
say?
did your homework.
I
That's
did.
good. Yeah.
I did. And for doing that on my first show, I mean, you seem more relaxed with it. Me, I'm like stressed in my mind, but we had our whole family here tonight, so we can't really beat that. So,
This is more like a family meeting, right?
yeah, the show's going to really grow, but no, that was awesome. Great show tonight. And then we'll have to think of something good for coming up next Sunday. We'll figure out something, but to
Yeah.
all our family out there and friends, thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah. I hope you guys liked it and share it if you want.
Yeah, right. All right. I'll talk to you right after this
All
video.
right.
Everybody have a great night.
Great.